go.
Move, bitch.
What's up?
Say it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mera YouTube channel. Say it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Mera YouTube channel. Today, we're going on a hiking.
Yes, he's not wrong. And we are going hiking. We're currently on our way to Mount Nokogiri. In order to get to Mount Nokogiri, we had to take a ferry from one side of Tokyo Bay to the other. I'm taking this time to actually introduce you to some of the people that I enjoyed my time with. This is Drew, and the D in Drew stands for down for anything. This is Berto. He's one of the crazier dudes I've met. This is Coke. He's one of the dudes that I've been hanging out with since the beginning. And this is his girlfriend Anika. And this is Max, another one of the ones from the beginning. And he's always in my videos because he's always down for an adventure. And that's Kang. She's kind of shy. The ferry that we're boarding is taking us from Kanagawa Prefecture to the Chiba Prefecture. It crosses Tokyo Bay and it takes about 40 minutes, which is really nice because every 40 to 45 minutes, there's another ferry that'll take you across. The ferry station also takes you to plenty of places, not just the place that we're going, but this is the quickest way. It's either we take the ferry for 40 minutes or we drive all the way around Tokyo Bay for 3 hours. And for 15 bucks, you really can't beat it. I also forgot to mention that we have another person that's in our group. His name's Correa, but he came in separately, so he'll be showing up later in the video. But for right now, let's take a nice look at the little boat. So we finally made it to the base of the mountain. On the right hand side there's stairs. On the left hand side there's a path. On the right hand side half of us went up, and then on the left hand side the other half went up. So after review at the end of the trip, we found out that the left hand side was more difficult to traverse because although there is a path, the stairs are steeper because it doesn't immediately start to ascend. On the right hand side, the stairs immediately go up, so you're able to at least knock out some of the height. On the left hand side, they said that they had climbed a lot of the hike, which I guess would be more difficult, and if you're up for the challenge, then I suggest going on the left hand side. Today we're only reviewing the right hand side. The right hand side was extremely beautiful. Some of it was stairs, some of it was natural terrain, but all of it was awesome. My favorite thing about this hike is the fact that it's an easier hike, so it's a laid out path and it's carved out for you to walk, but it's not poured with concrete. and it's not altered in any way besides the fact that they place rocks so that it turns into a step, or they might have carved out some of the mountain so that it's easier to traverse. To me, that just makes the trip that much better because it doesn't really take you out of hiking, because immersion definitely is a thing. You want to feel like you're still in nature, and the fact that these are all stones and it's just carved out of the side of the mountain makes it feel like you're still a part of nature, even though it's an easier hike. Speaking of being a part of nature, let's take this time to really enjoy the view. Once getting closer to Mount Nokogiri, you can notice its distinct shape, and that is due to the fact that it was the site of heavy quarrying during the Edo period, which left it with a uniquely jagged profile, which gave the mountain its name, Nokogiri, which in English is Sawtooth Mountain. The hike roughly takes 2 hours. There's also alternate routes, which is the gondola that will take 15 minutes and it's about $10 to get to the top, or you can actually drive to Nihonji Temple. But both the gondola and the Nihonji Temple require you to hike just a little bit to get to the peak of Mount Nokogiri. Another thing about these paths is the fact that there's plenty of chances for you to stop, take a break, and just take in the view. After the last little hike, we finally make it to Nihonji Temple. It costs 800 yen to get in, but it's a small price to pay in order to see many of the beautiful statues that they have here. One of the first ones is a statue dedicated to the Japanese lives lost in World War II. This was carved out the side of the mountain in 1966. The next site you see is the viewing platform, Jigoku Nozoki, which is the peak into hell. This is also a natural formed observatory, so that you'll be able to climb up to the top and take a 360 view of the entire area of the Chiba Prefecture. Once we're done with our view at the top of the mountain, we make our way down the other side. These little statues are actually miniature stone carvings of the disciples of the Buddha, referred to as the 1500 stone Takai Arhats. These statues are hidden in grottos, caves, and coves carved into the mountain face, and each one was crafted uniquely so that none are the same, and they're all created by Jingoro Ariono and his 27 apprentices who also created the giant Buddha. Of the 1500 Arhats, only about 500 still remain, as many were destroyed in the early Meiji era, which witnessed a promotion of Shinto, Japan's indigenous religion, at the expense of Buddhism. These were actually extremely interesting to look at because after viewing so many of them, truly none of them were the same. And these Arhats line the path toward the giant Buddha, which is known as the Daibutsu. Another interesting thing that we came across were these two fresh ponds of water that contain tadpoles, and the fact that we're really high on top of this mountain, roughly 1,000 feet in the air, and we find tadpoles is astonishing. Later we found out from a Japanese interpreter that these are naturally occurring, so the Japanese did not place these here, which makes the story all more interesting of these tadpoles. And then we finally made it to Daibutsu. It's Japan's largest stone-carved Buddha. A mammoth statue completed in 1783 that stands just over 31 meters tall, and it gazes out to the ocean in the west. Earthquakes and the passing of time took their toll on the structure, and major renovation works were carved out in 1966, but since then, it hasn't been touched. To the left of the Buddha is a smaller Jizo statue surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands, of small white Onegai Jizo statues. Jizo is the guardian of children and the Batsivat of hell. Well, that's it for our trip. Thanks for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe.